Alright guys, what's going on? Let's get right to business. I think I might have literally found the perfect lens to center my whole lens kit around, right? So right now I have in my hands the Sigma 28 to 45. And before I give you guys my honest review, I just want to let you guys know a little bit about the kind of work that I do. I feel like if you're watching a lens review, it's very, very important to understand the kind of work that that person does, just because their review and perspective is going to be based off of the kind of work that they do, basically. So just to let you guys know a little bit about me, my name is Damian Autry. I'm from New Jersey. I'm a filmmaker. I shoot a lot of documentary work, commercials, and events, weddings. I'm basically a solo running gun filmmaker right now in my filmmaking journey. And yeah, that's the perspective that I'm giving you this lens review off of. But not to waste any of you guys' time, I feel like this lens is absolutely perfect. And if you're thinking about this lens and you're on the fence, you're wondering if you should sell your primes and buy this, or if you should get this in general, I would say 10 out of 10, yes, do it, especially if you do similar work that I do. If you shoot events, if you shoot weddings, if you shoot commercial, if you shoot a lot of different things and you don't know what you're gonna do on a month-to-month basis, meaning you don't have a distinct niche, I would say definitely get this lens. But just to let you guys know, I do not own this lens yet. It is in my cart and I'm going to be buying it this week. This is a rental. So before I buy any lens, the first thing I do is I rent it out just to see if it's something that I can actually use. Because in my past, I fell down the rabbit hole so many times of just like, fall in love with gear that I've seen on YouTube and a whole bunch of YouTube reviews. There's always going to be something new coming out. And I'm at a point in life where I only want to buy things that's of value, especially to my business, to what I'm trying to do, to my art. You know what I'm saying? I view filmmaking truly as an art for me, and I'm done wasting money on the newest, coolest gear. You get what I'm saying? I just want to get what works for me, and that's where I'm at. So I'm at a point in life where I actually have sold off most of my lenses. I have a few more lenses that I'm literally selling, and I'm building out the perfect trio lens kit for me right now. Eventually I'll add more to it, but my goal for this year is to build out a perfect trio of lens, so a 3-set lens set that I can take everywhere and be able to capture all the different work that I do. And to be real with you guys, I'm not even considering anymore. This is going to be the center of my lens kit. I am buying this week, hopefully. You get what I'm saying? But this lens is absolutely perfect. Just to give you my review on it, so I had the ability to try this out at a wedding that I was shooting this past weekend. I'm gonna throw in some sample footage for you guys so that you guys can see, but the footage is absolutely stunning. So if you're worried about the sharpness or anything like that, the lens is tack sharp. It has amazing image quality, but that's what you get out of most Sigma art lenses, to be real with you guys. The one thing that I like about this lens is the versatility, right? So with shooting a wedding, you can do so much. It has a 1.8 aperture, so that means in low light it's perfect. If I want that nice shallow depth of field, I love bokeh. This is perfect for that. And yeah, the versatility is just literally amazing, right? So anybody that knows me personally, you guys know that my favorite focal length is 35 millimeter. That is my absolute favorite focal length. And honestly, last year, for about the whole year, when I was shooting on the A7S III, I primarily use a Sigma 35 1.4. It was on my camera basically every single shoot. It was the main lens on my main camera. Yes, I used other lenses to supplement whatever shoot I was doing, but I based everything off of that 35, especially for events, especially for weddings, different things like that. I use that 35 just because I really love the focal length, right? It's wide, but it's not too wide. It's and you can also get up close to your subject and get a really nice look. I also feel like it's very, very pleasing on facial features. That's just my personal opinion. I know people love the nifty 50, but it's just something about that 35. It just has way more versatility to me. This is essentially a 35 millimeter times 100 for me, right? Because it has that 35 1.8. I can zoom out to about 28 millimeters and get a wide shot. Now, listen, no, I'm gonna lead by saying this automatically. 28 to me is not wide. It's not it's not perfectly wide, right? But it's wide enough to get certain shots when you're in a moment. You don't need to switch lenses. You can get a wide shot at 28 millimeters, back up a little bit. And then if I want to zoom in a little bit, I can zoom into around that 45 range, which is really close to a 50 millimeter. So it's literally absolutely perfect, right? So with this lens, I personally don't need to carry any more primes because this lens is just that amazing, right? So with this lens, I'm literally getting the best version of a 35 millimeter for me, right? This is like the perfect lens for the way that I like to shoot because I can get a variety of shots on a pinch. I can get it quick without worrying about having to lose out on quality, image quality, because prime lenses are very, very sharp, but this lens is tack sharp. This is essentially a prime zoom lens. Like, honestly, this is 3 prime lenses within a zoom, right? It's not a 24 millimeter, but that 28, you get that wide prime. At 35, you get that nice sweet spot in the middle. And then at 45, you're pretty close to a 50. So I know a lot of people might complain about it not having those exact numbers, but there is something special about a Swiss Army knife of a lens if you embrace it, right? If you embrace this lens, it'll do a lot for you. It'll do a lot for you. But just to give you guys some perspective, when I shot with it, I felt like the autofocus was amazing. The images I was getting out of it was absolutely stunning. I'll display some for you guys. Just to let you guys know too, this was for one of my weddings, so I was using a short stash everyday filter, 1.4 1/4 miss on the front, so just so that you guys can know that as far as like the image quality. But again, I was shooting it for my style, so that's the way that I shoot. But trust me when I say it's tack sharp. Like, if you don't want to use any mist filters or anything like that, it is tack sharp. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the reason why I love this lens so much is because my first, like, it brings me down memory lane, right? Because my very first camera was Canon. I was shooting with a Canon 80D, and then I bought a 90D, and I remember investing in my first lens that was, to me, it was like, oh, this is a lot of money I'm putting on a lens. And I bought a Sigma 18 to 35 and 1.8. And to be real with you guys, like, yo, when I tell you I got my money's worth out of that lens stayed in my camera bag for 2.5, 3 years. It was my main lens. Like, it was literally the only lens I had in the beginning of my filmmaking journey, and I was shooting so much with it. I was shooting weddings, I was shooting events, I was shooting dance videos, I was shooting college stuff. Like, I was making my own fun videos, I was vlogging a little bit with it, and I was able to do so much with that lens for so long, and it literally became the perfect lens for me at that time. And even when I left Canon, right, and I left APS-C, I went over to Blackmagic and I brought that lens with me, and when I tell you, I was getting some amazing footage out of that lens, especially in that time in my journey. You get what I'm saying? Eventually I switched over to Sony, and I've been trying to find my groove, right? I'm at a place right now in my filmmaking journey where I'm trying to find my voice, right? Like, I feel like we all need to get to a place where, I mean, we all get to that point in life where it's like, yes, this is what I do, but this is also an art, and I'm trying to find my voice. And I had to stop looking at social media so much, stop looking at what everybody's doing, and I had to start focusing on me and who I want to be as a storyteller, right? So this year I made it my goal to figure out, like, who I want to be, and center my kit around that, and only buy things that make sense for me and what I'm doing now, right? So I'm at a point in my career where I can only invest in something that I can really foresee myself getting use out of it, and it working for the type of work that I do, not just buying stuff just because I saw a beautiful review on it on YouTube. But honestly, that's why I rented the lens. But I tried this lens out, and this lens right here is absolutely perfect. So if anybody's out there wondering if you're on the fence or whether or not you should buy this, trust me, you're not gonna regret it. I promise you. One of the things I was worried about when I first saw the lens was the weight. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the weight was turning me off, right? Because I'm also at a point in my life where I'm prioritizing my body, and like I don't mind like heavier gear, but it just has to be balanced correctly, and I didn't want a very, very heavy lens. And when I saw it online, it looked intimidating. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looked intimidating. But one thing I will tell you guys is it does not feel like what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is very light. Just to give you guys some perspective, before this, I had a Sigma 24-70, but I had the EF version because I was previously shooting Black Magic before I switched over to Sony, and I was using a EF adapter on my Sony lenses because I didn't want to commit 100% to Sony and buy EF lenses yet. So I was adapting the 24-70 EF version, and that was a pretty heavy setup, not gonna lie. Especially when I zoomed out, that was a pretty heavy setup, and I was rocking that on the gimbal. I was rocking that on my FX6, going handheld with it, and it was working pretty good for me. This, I don't know the actual numbers on it, but it feels way lighter, and that could maybe just be that it is just like, you know, well balanced. And also I love the fact that when you do zoom in and zoom out, you know what I'm saying, there is no barrel. It doesn't like go up and down. It stays like this, which is absolutely perfect for a gimbal, just to do that. And I also love that it has a manual focus and autofocus lock. It has a declicked and clicked aperture ring, which is amazing for all my videographers out there, which is amazing. It has two custom buttons where you can customize stuff. I didn't customize anything. I believe one of them I had automatically set to focus hold, and yeah, it worked out pretty good for me when I was shooting the wedding this past weekend. So long story short, this lens is amazing. If you're on the fence, definitely get it. Who do I think this lens is for? I feel like this lens is for a lot of people that's in my situation, right? Even if you're new in your journey, or you have a couple years in and you shoot in less controlled environments, right? So there are times where I'm shooting in controlled environments. If I'm shooting a documentary interview, or I'm shooting a certain type of commercial, those are controlled environments. But for a lot of the work that I do, I'm walking into places and I don't know what the setup is going to look like. When you're shooting a wedding, you're not sure what it's going to look like, or events or anything like that. You're not really sure what you're going to get, especially with documentary. You don't know what you're going to get, right? So it's important to be versatile, and this lens gives me the ability to be versatile, and I think that's what I'm shooting for, right? That's what I'm going for with my kit. I want to be able to confidently walk into any situation and know that I'm good. I got something for that. And I feel like this lens is a step in that direction. So don't be afraid of the weird focal lengths. Embrace it. It's not that big of a deal. Trust me. This lens, it's a must buy for all those that want it. But with that being said, my name is Damien. Thank you guys for tuning into my YouTube channel. I'm going to start posting more videos like this, and later on I'm going to be posting my holy trinity of lenses, and hopefully I get them all soon. But yeah, sound good. Let's be out.